Recording in progress.
Joe really fucking believe in dinosaurs?
We are going to live in an angrier world. A world where you will beg for your technocratic expert. You will own nothing, and you will like it.
Welcome to the technocracy.
All right, time to start the show here. Hope y'all like that new song there. Hopefully the sound came in good. I know sometimes those 8-bit kind of sounds really mess up on Zoom here. You know, I'm using that boomer tech. I don't know how to do anything, so I just use that Zoom. So, all right, we got a little bit of a show here today. It's primarily just about the music industry, you know, but I thought there was some interesting stuff coming up. And some ties, you know. Well, it started out as one thing, and then it ended up moving into another thing, pretty much. So, we're going to start off with the first thing that I was going through here. Let's go ahead and pull up. Let's share my screen. All right, there we go. All right, we're going to start with this story right here. Tom Morello used to disavow Hendrix due to racist comments. I had to distance myself from that to be the guitarist I wanted to be. Yeah, Morello, come on. Compared to Hendrix, give me a break. It's really funny. I mean, what has this guy's project really been? I mean, besides, you know, Rage Against the Machine, which is an okay band. I mean, I can see why people would like it, but you know, it's a little boring, you know. I think. But so what do we got here? We got Tom Morello has recalled a time when he would publicly disavow Jimi Hendrix due to racist comments that audiences used to sling at him. Yeah. Someone in the audience would yell, "Play Foxy Lady" or "Play with Your Teeth." That was the assumption. There was only one signpost for what a black guitarist could be. Let's see what else he said. There's a really funny part here. There's a large subset of the audience that is shocked and upset when they hear me talk about self-identifying as black, said Morello. They're one step short of offended, but I'm Kenyan, dude. I'm straight up Africa black. Yeah, right here. Here's your Africa black here. Now, this kind of sent me down the rabbit hole. This was sent to me by my friend. But then I saw that he recently did a song with Bring Me the Horizon. Now, if you don't know who that band is, they're like one of these new super satanic kind of groups. So, yeah, let's show them a little bit here. So this is, where is that one where he's like covering his eye, you know? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, there's your Bring Me the Horizon right there in the middle, you know. with your one eye symbolism. And honestly, their music is just garbage. Now check out their band logo here. We've got what they call the hexacursal, or no, semi-cursal hexagon is what it is. And yeah, I mean, it looks just like the Baphomet head, right? Do I have that Baphomet pulled up? Yeah, let's pull up that Baphomet real quick. And this is just the goofy stuff here, you know. Let's see if I can get a semi-cursal one. Yeah. Here's one here's a good example of that, you know. So there's your thing. Very similar, very similar. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but I found out that this symbol actually comes from the thelema, which was Aleister Crowley's books that, you know, that was kind of his spiritual book, if you will. Let me see. So we're going to do a quick thing on Aleister Crowley here, because, you know, some people don't know about Crowley. I'm surprised, but, you know, it's okay. You know, now you'll know. So, all right. The son of a devout Christian couple, Edward Alexander Crowley was born in Leamington Spa in 1875. After Malvern School and Tunbridge College, he read natural sciences at Trinity College, Cambridge. On a visit to Sweden, he experienced a life-changing vision which persuaded him of his spiritual vocation, a calling which he marked by changing his name to Aleister. Sex and magic. Crowley's interests combined the erotic and the esoteric. He published poetry, including a volume of verse described by one critic as the most disgusting piece of erotica in the English language. He also became involved in secretive groups like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Gradually, he evolved his own set of beliefs, which drew on Oriental, ancient Egyptian, and an assortment of other traditions. So this is where we get kind of, you know, a lot of the New Age stuff, you know, really just blending all the religions, you know, absolutely redonkulous. But we got his sexual preoccupations were equally various. He took many lovers, both male and female, and practiced a form of sex magic. Yeah, so there's your thing. So we're about to get into the law of thelema, which is where that symbol from Bring Me the Horizon is. You know, they're big time Satanists, total douchebags, really. But just like everybody, I think I'm gonna do, you know, for some clickbait, I'm gonna do a video that's top 5 stupidest satanic bands of the modern age. I tried to actually put that together for this, but it's really hard to choose just 5, so I'm gonna have to work on that. But I will put Bring Me the Horizon on there because I think that they are just garbage, and yeah, it's just how it goes. So here we go. We're gonna just read a little bit more about Aleister here. We got travel and enlightenment, a brilliant climber, big game hunter, and inveterate traveler. Crowley explored Mexico, India, Egypt, America, and much more besides. In the first 2 decades of the 20th century, he wrote a series of tracts outlining his philosophy, the law of thelema, a word taken from the Greek for will. Yeah, and he's the one with the do what thou wilt symbolism, I believe, what Jay-Z used to wear. Was he claimed, whatever happened to Jay-Z, right? Now that was a douchebag. That was a real douchebag. Him and Beyonce, you know. Luckily, Hollywood and the mainstream music industry kind of died off in 2016, you know. I think that was like one of the best things Trump did, was just kind of, the media just got completely destroyed. And now people don't even watch Disney anymore, which is just awesome, because Disney they just had their little satanic claws, you know, just dug into society. And, you know, now we got that kind of dying off. Most people don't want to watch that anymore. I mean, unfortunately, still too many, but we're getting those numbers down. We got to get those numbers down. All right, let's see. The law of thelema. Okay, we just said that. So, was he... Wait, Greek for will. Okay, the law of thelema was, he claimed, dictated to him by an ancient Egyptian spirit. It laid out the key principle of life as Crowley saw it, the pursuit of each individual's will, unconstrained by popular opinion, law, or conventional ethics. Yeah, so, you know, this guy's like the, you know, father of, you know, 1900s Luciferianism kind of thought. And you know that the guitarist for Led Zeppelin lives in his house, lives in this guy's house. I think it's Jimmy Page, right? Or Robert Plant, one of the two. One of those guys lives in the house. But those are big time Satanists. I mean, absolutely ridiculously. Magic and disgrace. In 1920, he moved to Sicily, where he established the Abbey of Thelema. Wow, so ridiculous. As the headquarters for his new religion. Here he pursued spiritual enlightenment, declaring himself ipsissimus, beyond the gods, in 1921. He also experimented with sex and drugs. In 1923, an Englishman died in mysterious circumstances after a ritual during which he was said to have consumed the blood of a cat. The British press and the Italian fascist government were equally appalled. Crowley was expelled from Sicily, the abbey closed, and the group dispersed. All right, drugs and death. Although impoverished, disgraced, and a near skeletal heroin addict, Crowley never lacked followers. He fathered several children, most of them illegitimately. So did he have a wife? I don't know. I'm actually curious about that. Who would marry this guy? Obviously some satanic chick. I bet a lot of chicks actually probably married him, now that I think about it, and was still in demand as a medium and a magus to the end, designing a new sequence of tarot cards and commentating on it at some length in his Book of Thoth of 1944. He died in Hastings in 1947. Wow, I didn't realize he died that early. I thought he made it into the 60s. He's on the album cover. Oh, here it even says that. I'll just read this then. During the Thelema Abbey scandal, one newspaper referred to Crowley as the wickedest man in the world. He would have denied this, claiming that his work was truly good because it freed men from earthly rules and opened up truly spiritual experiences. Very satanic. But there can be no doubt that he also enjoyed his notoriety, and his fame only increased after his death. There are still groups who call themselves Thelemites, still those who use his tarot cards and read his books. He was taken up by the counterculture of the 1960s and can be seen on the cover of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album, which is just a piece of shit record, honestly. It's total garbage. Between the Indian guru Sri Yukteswar and the Hollywood star Mae West. Yeah, so there you go. There's just a little background on Aleister Crowley. I was thinking about that because, I've talked to people about Crowley. A lot of times they don't know who he is. And y'all remember my first video titled John Boys, we had that Crowley face from John Stamos, right? Let's see if I can pull that image up. Yeah, this is what Stamos was doing. Let's zoom in on that. Whoops. There we go. Yeah. Y'all remember that? That's actually my most watched video. It's crazy. It's probably my most garbage video, too. Hey, he looks like Neil Peart right here. Oh, no, he doesn't. He looked like him from the big picture, but zoomed in, he doesn't. That kind of looks like Greta right there. Which we're going to get into Greta today. So this is kind of the big story of today that I thought was absolute nonsense. So we all know that the Foo Fighters are some of the biggest shills in the New World Order around today. But, their drummer, he died of mysterious causes. They said there were 10 drugs in his system. I mean, absolute nonsense, that he just dropped dead of drug overdose with 10 drugs in his system. I mean, he looked pretty young. I mean, he couldn't have been that strung out on drugs, and it was right after they forced all their fans to have the what put in their arms so that you could go see them play their mediocre 4-count rock songs. So, and I thought to myself, well, maybe that's the end of the band there, all right? Actually, before we get into that, I have one more story about Bring Me the Horizon I thought was funny, just to show how douchey they are right here. So, I don't really know Bad Religion. I think they're like a punk band or something. Um, but Bad Religion guitarist slams Bring Me the Horizon, quote, "You suck as humans." So they were all playing at a festival, and then Bring Me the Horizon put this sign backstage. Oh my gosh, dude. What is with these ads? Like, seriously. I'm not trying to. Okay, it says whatever. Bring Me the Horizon. These people are not to be stopped ever. They may not have a pass. They can escort whoever they want, where they want, with or without a pass. So yeah, these guys think they're above the rules of the thing, and they can bring whoever they want backstage. And by the way, I mean the front guy. This is how all the bands are. The front guy's like the big ego, and then everybody else is like a total square. You know, like it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I just wanted to show that before I move off that topic because Bring Me the Horizon is. I didn't even know this band existed until one of my students was like, "Oh, I want to learn one of their songs," and then I listened to it for like 5 seconds. I was like, Actually, some of their songs are all right, but they're just it's just kind of stupid. I mean, their whole discography is just all about like into the world kind of stuff, right? So I mean, we've got Bring Me the Horizon albums. Let me just read you their album names real quick. I mean, look, these are all okay. We've got That's the Spirit, Suicide Season, Count Your Blessings, their newest album, or one of their newest, Post-Human Survival. There Is a Hell, Believe Me. Yeah, this is just their albums, pretty cool. I remember when I was a kid, I thought, oh, these bands, I'm gonna start a band, and then I realized, oh, the whole musical world is super satanic. Not to say you can't start a band and actually have some mild success, but as far as generally speaking, most people in the world do not think of your band as anything until you are accepted by the mainstream. I mean, they genuinely think that like Justin Bieber is better than Frank Zappa because he sells more records or something. Which he probably doesn't, and long term he definitely won't. I mean, Justin Bieber's career's over. We've all seen him with his, wonky face now. But let's get into the big story here. Hey, Beans, please stop your squeaking over there, dude. I mean, nobody wants to hear it. Seriously, shut your mouth. All right, so I was thinking, okay, this is creepy, all right? And then I did some digging, and I was like, oh, it all makes sense, right? It all makes total perfect sense. This is how it works. So, Foo Fighters announced that their replacement will be a 12-year-old girl. Okay, so Taylor Hawkins back here. I mean, look at him right here. Do you think this guy's strung out on 10 drugs? I mean, have you ever seen a drug addict? I mean, their faces are not that clean. Now, maybe he's filled up with the adrenochrome or something. Maybe, But I don't believe the story. I mean, the story that all these rock stars like do tons of drugs and stuff like that. Like maybe they go through a stage of doing that, but you can't remain functional doing drugs. I mean, look at the lead singer for Sublime. He was a heroin addict, like for sure a heroin addict, like openly, publicly. And I mean, his career lasted like 4 years, and then he died. So I mean, that's what happens if you're really a drug addict. Like you don't freaking last. And then also, I mean, if you ever seen shows of Bradley from Sublime when he's on heroin, is freaking garbage. Actually, I heard a story where the drummer beat his ass after a show and said, "Don't ever do heroin again before a show." Or at least do less heroin. But yeah, no, crazy, right? Crazy. That's the official story here. There is no official cause of death though. Still, over that, we'll never know because we know what the official cause was. Same official cause for when that female comedian, what was it? Is it Heather McDonald? Y'all remember when she ate shit on stage right after making fun of people for not taking the Jabba Dabba Doo, and then we get her eating shit? I actually need to show that video because some people haven't seen that, right? Let's see. I think that's her name, Heather McDonald Falls. Yep, that's her name. All right, let's see this here. I'm sure we're going to get an ad here.
Brag, I don't care, but I want you to know double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
Oh my gosh. And they thought it was a joke. Look at her. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, that's really sad. I mean, but she kind of blasphemed there at the end. I mean, come on now. Like, you kind of, yeah, you put a lot of stuff in your body there, Heather. Best to not, crack jokes at, God incarnate. That's probably not the best idea for anybody, but especially with all that stuff there. So, where was that one page I had? Okay, so here we go. I was shocked to hear this. 12-year-old drummer Nandi Bushell said she would join the Foo Fighters for the upcoming tribute concert for their late member Taylor Hawkins on her Instagram account. Bushell described her feelings about the event, saying it was an honor to play with the band for Hawkins. Taylor Hawkins' unexpected and early death on March 25, 2022, in Colombia due to a possible drug-related heart condition. And I bet you there's some number games going on there too, they love that. To a possible drug-related heart condition made his family, friends, bandmates, and fans shocked and devastated. The band canceled the rest of their tour dates and other events some of these riders were supposed to perform to mourn after the drummer. Then the remaining Foo Fighters members decided to pay tribute to Hawkins. Now, who's in the Foo Fighters, right? I mean, you got Dave Grohl, Taylor Hawkins, and then everybody else is interchangeable. Right? They're not like one of these bands, like right here they're talking about Rush. It's like, okay, you got Neil Peart, Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson. You can name the guys in the band, right? Or a lot of other bands. It's like, oh yeah, the bassist for this band. I mean, they're like a studio musician band kind of thing. It's really just one guy that matters. And they kept Taylor Hawkins over the years because they're besties. And so, yeah. Sorry, my phone was getting blown up there for a second, but yeah, so here we go. The Taylor Hawkins tribute concerts will take place on September 3rd at Wembley Stadium, and the second show will start on September 27th at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. For the London gig, the guest musicians are Queen's Brian May and Roger Taylor, Rush's Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson, Wolfgang Van Halen, with many more. Thus, everyone will be there to show their love and respect for the late drummer as their great friend and colleague. So this is the rock world. They've been pushing this for years, saying that the Foo Fighters are the best rock band. Dave Grohl is the last remaining rock star. It's like, well, yeah, thanks to y'all. I mean, because y'all destroyed music with y'all's absolute filth. But yeah, so they get all these guys to come together. I mean, can you imagine just being a show like that? Oh, I'm gonna come together. Like, seriously? I'm sorry, Rush is 30 times the band of the Foo Fighters, and that's not even up for debate. I mean, if you think that the Foo Fighters are better than Rush, you're actually fundamentally an idiot. It's just that simple. Yeah, so enjoy that. In addition to these artists, Foo Fighters' youngest guest. Okay, this is where it gets a little creepy. Alright. Foo Fighters' youngest guest became 12-year-old drummer Nandi Bushell, who gained fame on social media during the lockdown with her extraordinary drumming performance and had played Everlong with them at the Forum in Los Angeles last year. She announced her replacing Hawkins on the London show, and according to the young artist, it will be great to collaborate with the Foo Fighters for this memorable event. Yeah, that's exactly what you should do with these creepy Hollywood guys. Like, let your 12-year-old daughter go hang out with them. Yeah, look at Brian May here. Is that who you want around your 12-year-old daughter? I mean, not me. No, thank you. Sorry. It would be a great privilege. It would be the greatest privilege of my life to join Mr. Grohl on stage with Pat, Chris, and Nate. Yeah, nobody ever knew their names before. and Rami. So that's the Foo Fighters: Pat, Chris, Nate, and Rami. And then, of course, their beloved Dave Grohl. I mean, Dave Grohl, seriously. I have you ever seen the interviews where they interview Taylor Hawkins and they're like, are you intimidated by your band leader being basically the best drummer in rock and roll? And he's like, oh no, it's not intimidating. He doesn't just chime in, and Grohl's sitting right there. He doesn't just like chime in and go, whoa, I'm not the best drummer. Okay, I'm not. That's ridiculous. No, he laughs it off like, yeah, I am the best drummer. Like, dude, I'm sorry, that fucking guy sucks. I mean, he's okay. His accenting is garbage. He plays way heavy all the time. It's really jarring, and I freaking hate it. Me and my band, we have made fun of Dave Grohl for, the better part of the last decade. I mean, he's really, like, any musician I know doesn't even talk about Dave Grohl because he's such a worthless, like, his music is garbage, Like, really, like, there's nothing really about it that's that good. I mean, it's decent if you're a beginner drummer and you want to learn some kind of fast songs. There's some good stuff because it's all simple parts just played fast. That's essentially. Now, Taylor Hawkins is actually a good drummer, much better than Dave Grohl. I will give him that. He's actually the real deal. He's really good. You're never gonna see him. I mean, at this point, you're really never gonna see him playing anything interesting. But he's never been an interesting project where he's been forced to like push himself to the next level. Like. You're just not going to see that. So, but yeah, there you go. So here's Nandi Bushell, right? So check this little future. Sure, they're grooming her to be the next Shill here. And I do have the music video. I don't want to play it because I don't want a copyright strike. I don't know how any of that works. But I am going to put the link down in the chat because y'all need to see this video. It is absolute garbage. It's the stupidest climate change rock song that her and the son of Tom Morello, Roman Morello, just put out. So, yeah, let's read another article here. So here we've got, and she's singing. She's a terrible singer, but this whole song is about climate change. We've got Nandi Bushell and Roman Morello rally for climate change in star-filled "The Children Will Rise Up" video. So they got Jack Black in it. They've got Nandi Bushell here. They've got Roman Morello. They have Tom Morello in the video. And then this is the best part. They have Greta Thunberg in the video as well. So yeah, there you go. There's your new rock and roll here. Now, also, just think about this, right? Now, I'm not even saying, like, this for me. I'm saying this for other people, right? Because I would never want to join the Foo Fighters, ever, under any circumstances. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I would have a one-show limit, and it would be a big, fat paycheck. But if it was a tour, it would be an absolute no, even if the money was good, because they're total Satanists. And I don't even think I would take the one show, honestly. It would be far beneath, like not just me as a player, but like most people. Like I think it'd be beneath them, like to do something like that. So they get a 12-year-old girl. I just think to myself, how many people have been, playing drums their whole life, and they're super professional, much more professional than me, and they want gigs, they need gigs, but. This big gig just opens up. It could be given out to somebody who actually deserves it and is actually world class. Like, I'm sorry, she's 12. She's very good for a 12-year-old, but she's 12. She's not that good. Okay. Now for a 12-year-old, I will give it to her. She's pretty good for a 12-year-old. But all she does is play rock drums. I mean, there's no jazzing out here. This is all just basic. Counts. Now I'm sure when she gets older she'll get a little better, but yeah, this is just despicable, this freaking thing here. So let's read about this real quick. Nandi Bushell's recent trip to the United States included a jam session with Tom Morello and his son, but now a brand new song written with Roman Morello during the visit has turned up with a major climate change message. You can check out the guest-filled "The Children Will Rise Up" video below. Bushell sings and plays drums on the track while Morello handles guitar duty. The video also features guest appearances by Tenacious D's Jack Black, Tom Morello, and climate change activist Greta Thunberg, with Bushell breaking down some of the key talking points of climate change after the video concludes. I am not a scientist. I'm an 11-year-old girl who understands the simple meaning of science, and while I'm not old enough to vote, I can bring awareness to this problem, explained Bushell in the video. I hope this song empowers young people to find their voice and inner superpower. And if we can all come together in unity and love, we can tackle humanity's biggest challenge before it's too late. I would love to play the video for y'all. I really would. I'd love to give a breakdown to it because it's so funny, but I just don't want to risk doing this whole stream and then it getting taken down. I'm so proud of myself and Roman Morello for writing our epic song with Tom Morello. We hope you love it, and we really hope our song... By the way, the song is terrible. Like, it's actually unbearable. There's a little breakdown in the middle where I think that Tom steps in to play the guitar, because I don't think Roman played it. I genuinely don't think he played it. Maybe he did, but yeah, the middle part's actually pretty good. I mean, for like 5 seconds, and then it goes right back to filth. But after learning about climate change at school, I wanted to help make a difference. I wanted to write a song about how I feel about climate change and asked Tom Morello and his son Roman Morello to collaborate with me. Once Roman and I had written the song, we asked Jack Black and Greta Thunberg. Yeah, oh, you just know Greta Thunberg and Jack Black. Like, yeah, this is the thing. Like, where did this girl come from? You know, she's starting out her music career. She's already landing interviews with the drummer from Arctic Monkeys and things like this. I mean, she's really like already a big time shill, total big time shill. And yes, I do have the illuminate confirmed photographs here that we're gonna pull up. I've got the documents, folks. And furthering the song's mission, Bushell and Morello have teamed with Fridays for Future, Brazil and England, branches of the global youth climate movement started by Greta Thunberg, to provide all proceeds of the song to the non-profit organizations, the SOS Pantanal Institute and Help Pantanal. Yeah. Okay, so let's read the lyrics. That's awesome. They got the lyrics here. I just want y'all to, because we can't do the video, I'll do it for you, and I'll even tell y'all maybe how the melody goes. It's really awful. Okay, so here we go. They let the earth bleed to feed their greed. Stop polluting, politicians poisoning for profit. While they are killing all the trees, now we all can't breathe. As the temperature's rising, nothing is surviving. And then it goes, I'm not really going to sing it. Now that I got here, I realize it's too cringy. But it goes, the children will rise up. Our voices will be heard. Our voices will be heard. The children will rise up. Our voices will be heard. Our voices... Again, okay, it says it again. Verse 2, Mother gave us everything. Now we fight to... So here's our Mother Gaia propaganda from a little 12-year-old who's never even had to... Like, honestly, it's just kind of, like, ridiculous that a 12-year-old would land a gig like that, right? Like, is there nobody who's more qualified, really? I mean, it's such a gimmick. That they're so despicable. I remember during 2020, people were like, did y'all see that Dave Grohl video with the girl? No, I don't watch Dave Grohl videos. And I didn't see it until the other day. And I finally saw it. And I will say I was not impressed. And I thought it was stupid. And I think Dave Grohl is very childish. That's my stance on the whole thing. I think he sucks. I think he's not very good at drumming. I think he's not very good at really anything in music. You know, his drummer, Taylor Hawkins, was a freaking way better singer than him. Way better drummer than him. And I would go out on a limb and say he's probably a better guitarist than him because Taylor Hawkins was actually a real musician, you know. He was a douchebag and a satanic shill, but, you know, he was actually fairly good at what he does, so... You know, so here we go. Now we fight to breathe. Propaganda flooding our brains. And then during this in the video, it pops up. It's like propaganda flooding our brains. And they show like a right-wing rally where there's like people saying like, you know, like, we don't accept your climate change. We don't want, you know, no to Depop, you know, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, it's pretty funny. But, yeah. Okay, propaganda flooding our brains, xenophobic crushing me. Our star has the power we need. Now just set up free. Our star. I wonder if that's their morning star, their little satanic Luciferian. I think they call him the morning star, right? Hey, I've been pretty good. I haven't vaped this whole time. I gotta take a puff. Y'all gotta forgive me here. I have not taken a puff yet this whole time. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right. And then the chorus again. The children will rise up. Our voices will be heard. Our voices will be heard. The children will rise up. Our voices will be heard. But it's in like a 12-year-old voice. It's really obnoxious. It's really terrible. Bushell's star, what is that? Has been on the rise. Oh, she's okay. Her being a star, okay. Has been on the rise over the past year from her drumming videos. And I mean, you know how many drumming videos? And also, even if you wanted to like have like a young girl like playing drums, there's a lot. Like even if you were gonna go gimmicky, you want to talk about gimmicks. Every girl drummer on YouTube, like seriously, I actually want to do a social experiment where I make nothing political. Maybe I'll even post it on a different channel and everything. And I'm going to do a cover of, what's that one that they always pop up on my thing? It's that Asian girl. I mean, there's so many of these. They're like drum thoughts kind of thing. And they wear really like scantily clad clothing. And they'll play like Master of Puppets, which... I mean, I learned Master of Puppets when I was 15. I couldn't play it perfectly at 15, but come on. I mean, there was like one fill I had trouble with. It was pretty straightforward song, but I mean, they'll have 5.8 million views because their boobs are out. There's another one. I think her name is. They always push it on me. They're always trying to get me, scandalized with these. The algorithm's always trying to push, sexualization on you. So they'll give me this one. I think her name is. Mimi Sounds. I'm not even a guitarist. I don't really watch guitar videos that often. I mean, I watched this one guy called Let's Talk About Math Rock. That's the one guy I really watch a lot. I guess what's that other Jens Larson or whatever? He has some good jazz tutorials and stuff, so I watch him too. Now, Jens Larson does real work. He's not getting 5.8 million views on his video because he's a big, ugly guy, right? That's how it works, But these girls come in and they get 10 million views on them just playing like a Beach Boys song or something. And it's like, dang, really? I mean, it's just total clickbait. They got their boobs out and stuff like that. But like I said, if you're going to go with the gimmick, wouldn't you get a girl that's like a young adult? I mean, there's a lot of them out there that are much better than Nandi over here. I mean, but they love their little kids. I mean, I don't know. I mean, 12 years old, like hanging out with a bunch of guys in a band, like it's just weird to me. It really is. I mean, I'm in a band. I'm also, a teacher, and I'll tell you, and I would never have my students hanging around my band. I mean, not that we're like super degenerate, but I mean, we're adults. It's not appropriate. It's just not how life. That's just not appropriate. Also, it wouldn't matter how good they are. Kids are never going to be as good as an adult that's been training. I mean, and you see that a lot of those child prodigies, they don't last very long. Like they either quit because they hate music, because they had some like Korean tiger mom that was like screaming at them, "You practice your piano." And they got really good, but they hate it. Those are the kids you see never smile. They're like playing like Flight of the Bumblebee perfectly, and they're just stone faced. Like wearing a mask. Just. All right. Nandi has also played other instruments, showcasing her passion for music, and last year took part in a drum-off challenge with Dave Grohl. The online fandom by Grohl eventually led to an invite for Bushell to join Foo Fighters on stage. So there you go. Yeah, 15 things musicians did to help us survive 2020. I mean, these are the worst kind of things. I'm so glad I could sit at home without my job and I could watch clip hits of people. Like, you could do that before 2020, by the way, and also the whole like Instagram drummer thing has really like, it's kind of ruined creativity because we've got these guys who have mad chops, just insane chops. Now some of them take that and do it creatively, like Zach Grooves. If y'all follow his channel, not to sound like a hipster douchebag, but like I was following Zach Grooves when he had like 3,000 subs, and now his channel blasted up. But his channel is actually funny. But once again, it's like I'd rather see him like in an actual band, not just doing whatever it is that he. Sorry, people keep freaking texting me. It's like, come on now, I'm streaming. I'm gonna just turn my phone off during streams, but I don't know. My wife might need me. Who knows? All right, so let's take a look-see here. What else do we got for today? I really wanted to show that video, but like I said, it's going to be down in the description. So here's another, article. So we've got, now we know that Nandi Bushell is a big old shill, just already getting the support. I mean, she's literally the Greta Thunberg, but she plays drums. Look at her with the fist here. And she's got all the BLM symbolism on her drum set and all the stupid, like 1960s cheesy, like flower power bullshit, So what do we got here? This week, the former president of the United States shared the video. Oh, he even shared it. For Bushell and Roman's recent climate change anthem, The Children Will Rise Up, posting it for his 55 million Facebook followers. Many social movements have started and been, we got Obama here. Maybe. Many social movements have been started and sustained by young people, Obama said in the post on the Wednesday, November 10th. Nandi and Roman use music as a way to share their compelling message about why we need to take action on climate change. Michelle, so we got Obama often doesn't include much rock on his annual year-end playlist. You remember that Obama would always hang out with Beyonce and Jay-Z? Tom responded to Obama's endorsement, and this I was actually surprised about. Tom Morello actually saying he doesn't support Barack Obama's policies. But come on now, I mean, whatever. Like, obviously you kind of do. Tom responded to Obama's endorsement saying, while I take issue with some of his policies, it's hard to argue with his taste in music. No, I'll argue with his taste in music too. I bet it's freaking garbage. I could probably go through that, and every single one of them is a shill. Now, I will say this. I do think that Obama might be a George Duke fan, so I will give Obama that one. If he is a George Duke fan, I'd give him a free pass because George Duke is freaking awesome. All right? And I don't believe George Duke is a shill. Now, I do think his music sucked in the 80s, just like everybody in jazz. The 80s really did. It didn't kill jazz. Like, people think, oh, jazz died. Like, there's this guy who lives near me, and I actually see his car randomly. It says jazz is dead on the back. I'm like, I don't think so. I actually think jazz is better than it's ever been in a lot of ways. If you ever heard bands like Mr. Barrington or something with Zach Danziger or something like that, and there's a lot of other bands, I think that jazz is actually better. Snarky Puppy. I think that it's actually better than it's ever been, weirdly enough. It's just not that popular, but that's okay. That's okay, because it really, it's all about waves. I mean, honestly, the jazz today is like way complex, so it's kind of more for musicians than it is, like for other people. Like they can't handle it. It's too complex. So The Children Will Rise Up, released last month, was born of a jam session between Bushell and whatever, and Roman and Rage Against the Machine and whatever. Bushell sings and plays drums on the cut. Okay, we already went through all that stuff. But yeah, they got, basically the same story again. Yeah, I wanted to cover that real quick. Let me see if there's anything else about her. I did have a picture I wanted to share about her, so let's go ahead real quick. Let's stop the share. So this is from the video. I screenshotted this. This is in the middle of the video. Alright, so there you go. There's Nandi Bushell, 12-year-old Nandi Bushell. Alright, there she is, y'all. No, she's not a show. She's not a show. She's just a kid. And then literally you could tell it wasn't in her budget because Greta Thunberg pops up for literally 2.5 seconds. I mean, how much did that cost? I bet you Greta And I've actually recently heard that Greta was a she's directly related to the Rothschild there. Yeah. Let's see here. So I'm gonna pull that up. I thought this was a pretty decent article. So I'm not saying that this is true. I don't really know, but who cares, right? I mean, we know she's a shill. I mean, this could be nonsense, but yeah. The House of the Rothschild bankers reluctantly confirms the undeniable. Greta Thunberg is a blood relative of the notorious Rothschild chain of nation buyers. It explains much about the precocious adolescent celebrity status drooled over by presidents and prime ministers, and of course the slobbering on-message media barons of the western swamps. So I mean, same thing with Nandi Bushell here, right? Most of us, really work hard in the musical realm, and we a lot of us make our money teaching and then doing gigs here and there when we can, and then maybe getting on some albums or doing studio work for people. We do a lot of that kind of stuff, for a living in the musical world. But then you get Nandi Bushell over here. She's like not even like, I've been playing drums longer than she's been live. She's over here popping in, and she's just going on tour with the Foo Fighters the very next day. So yeah. There was some funny stuff on this though. I don't know if I want to read all of it, but take a look at this family tree. So we've got Marit Rothschild, Emma Rothschild, all right, and then their son Louis, who married Melanie, all right, and then they had a daughter named Mary Ann, all right, who married Fred Schwab. And look at their son down here. I love how all these people, even though they're like total, Rothschilds, they actually look like normal people to a degree. And then you get down here, and then you got Klaus. Look at him. Look at that outfit, right? I mean, he wears that by choice. Yeah. By the way, the net worth of Greta's parents is estimated at $3 million that we know about. Not bad for a modestly successful opera musician and our stage actor husband. Yeah, well, I mean, could it be that their daughter is the face of climate change? How dare you? How dare you? I should be in school. I am only 11 years old. And then here we got Greta with the one eye symbolism everywhere. Then we got black goo here in the bottom right corner dripping out of her eye. And then over here we have black goo all over her head and the one eye symbolism at the same time. I know the black goo, they're probably using it like, oil leaks and stuff like that. But what is with the black goo? Does anybody know like what it really is with the black goo? And my wife told me a story. They were dealing with a blood clot, and they cut it out, and it was filled with black goo. All right, I just throw that out there. All right, everybody can put together the pieces. Now, this isn't my wife doesn't have a blood clot. It was a story from from what was going on over there. So that the black goo is there's something weird, and I think they might be kind of putting this stuff in the jibbity jabbity, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, but look at that. Look at all that one eye symbolism. I mean, she can't help herself. Here she's got the 666. It's like, what's the point of this picture right here? Now this is really weird too. Like, it's just like a shadow over her face. Gretard. Greta Thunberg is indeed the great-great-granddaughter of one of their most famous representatives, but her environmental activities, they assured, are not related to her origins and are not financed by the house in any way. Yeah, okay. I mean, even if that's not true, maybe this is like a misinformation so that we look like idiots talking about it kind of thing. But it doesn't really matter who the family ties are, You don't have to be a Rothschild to be a shill. You don't even have to be in the media. I mean, every day, you know, I mean, really, you think about, how easy it is to get nurses and doctors to shill, for instance. I mean, my wife is completely in the know about all this stuff, and she knows when the media pushes COVID, her paycheck goes up. Okay, you know, it's not really that crazy to figure it out. I mean, really, it's that simple. And even nurses and doctors that are against the COVID narrative, well, when the media pushes it, I'm not saying their paycheck goes up a little bit. I'm talking it doubles, it triples, kind of thing. Like and so you think they can't get these people to chill out? I've heard stories of other nurses making $10,000 a week during COVID, working COVID units while the hospitals were empty, while they were making their TikTok videos. Literally 10,000 a week. What is that? $520,000 a year? Yeah, you think they can't? You think you can get people to chill out a little bit for $520,000 a year? Oh yeah, you can. You could get people to chill out for $5. I mean, really, you could basically just convince them of anything if you know what you're doing in the psychology department or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that. We got Gretard here, sweet little Gretard. What a person. Let's see, though. I do have some other stories. Real quick, I'm going to make some coffee, so I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to be right back in 2 seconds.
Recording in progress.
All right, we're back. All right, we got a few more stories here. I'm not going to do too much longer, but this was weird. Now, if anybody knows more about this down in the chat, definitely send me a link or something in the comments, because I've been... me and my friend, we've been trying to dig up information on this because it's a weird story. Now, we had Nandi Bushell here from South Africa. So here's another South African story. Funeral held for 21 teenagers who mysteriously died at a nightclub in South Africa. We do not know yet exactly what killed our children. So there was a bunch of minors in a club in South Africa, and it doesn't seem like anybody else died. It was just minors who died. Could it have been a poisoning? I mean... who knows? I mean, I really have no idea. Let's see what this CBS Shill has to say about it. We'll see if it's any good. If it's not, I'll turn it off. But let's see.
Today in South Africa, at least 22 young people were found dead inside a nightclub in the coastal city of East London. Some of the victims are as young as 14. Right now, police call the deaths mysterious.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Already outdid yourself.
All right.
Thank you.
These ads.
Appreciate that.
All right. I don't want your ad. U.S. inflation hits 41-year high. All right. Yeah, it's really ridiculous. And then you've got the story out of Texas down there on the border with that school. There's a lot of weird stuff around that. And you know what? Now YouTube's been hawking the every single time now, because you know how they do. They love to, whatever their agenda is, they love to put those stories out there. So I got a story like yesterday, and I've never seen this. It was an individual, RAPE case. And it was just, this guy impregnated a child, and now she can't get her abortion. It's like, okay, can y'all take a second and think about how horrific that is before y'all start hawking your baby murder? This is a horrific scenario. But now they're just anything they can pull up, any story, and they've been avoiding those kind of stories now for 20 years, probably 100 years, because they don't want everybody to know how rampant that kind of stuff is. It is rampant. I mean, seriously, that'll be one of the first phases of taking back Texas. Will be getting rid of all those compounds that are dispersed around, because they're everywhere with their symbolism, with their like Tanit statues and their. Whenever you see that, when you're driving around in the countryside, you're gonna see spirals. I don't know if I can really talk about that on this, but it doesn't matter because I'm posting this to Rumble anyways. You're gonna see spiders, not spiders. Shit, you'll probably see those too. But, spirals, and you're going to see a Tanit statue, which is like a woman that they call the mother monster. And that's like I think that what's her name? I think Lady Gaga had a song where it was either called Mother Monster or it was like an album or her tour or something. But yeah, Tanit, yeah, that's their satanic symbolism. So you'll see that in a lot of places. It's a woman with both arms directly in the air. That's what the thing is. A lot of times they'll just make it out of PVC pipes, and you see this in Texas. It's actually crazy, crazy. I went to an Airbnb out near Bastrop once for my friend's wedding, and oh man, we had to flee. We had to flee in the middle of the day. We realized that this place was like there were locks on the outside of the doors, and there was satanic symbolism. And then my friend went into the woods, and they literally had some creepy like little banners that were written all like handwritten all over them, and it had like a bunch of different languages and stuff. I mean, it was so satanic. And then when we left, the owner was just happened to be standing outside on his porch. It was freaking creepy. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to tell that story right now. It is just too freaking much, too much. All right, now we got one more story. This might be the one that gets this video booted off of the platform, but that's okay because we're over on Rumble now, baby. Get over on Rumble. Hopefully Rumble remains good. I actually just downloaded their app. I'm pretty happy with it. It's not quite as good as the YouTube thing. I wish I could like lower the video and still like scroll, but I mean for the budget, I mean, it's hard. I mean, the app is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a lot better than BitChute. And I'm glad that we've got something that's not BitChute, because BitChute is just kind of, it's where you send your content to go die. You know what I mean? The only thing I watch on BitChute is like old Jeff C videos that got posted there. That's the only thing I really watch on BitChute. And then occasionally links that my friends send me. But here we go. Death claims up $6 billion. Up $6 billion in death claims, all right, in the working class. Fifth largest life insurance company paid out for 163% more working age deaths in 2021 after the you-know-what was unleashed. We're gonna do Operation Warp Speed. I can't do a good Trump, really. I've got to work on it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be wonderful. It's so awesome, so grand. But yeah, I need to work on my Trump. I think my Obama is decent at times, but whatever. So the massive media cover up to the death toll and injuries sustained in the largest medical experiment in human history could not remain hidden for too long. The body count and the life insurance costs cannot be ignored. The lies, deceit are monumentally criminal, and the establishment has destroyed the public trust by going along with this horror. Just this week, NFL linebacker Jalen Ferguson passes away mysteriously at 26. He was found dead in his apartment, by the way. NFL legend Tony Siragusa, who helped the Ravens win a Super Bowl, who I think was another Raven. I think Jalen Ferguson was on the Ravens too. Maybe there's some Raven kind of symbolism there. Who knows? Maybe they're going real, I don't know. But he died at 55, and quite honestly, have you ever seen Tony Siragusa? That man might have actually died of a heart attack. I mean, take a look at this guy real quick. I'm sorry, but look at that face. That one might be legit. He might have actually dropped dead of a heart attack. I mean, he's a big fat kind of guy. So they always hit you with the ads on these, right? You can't even get these mainstream websites. They're total trash. But yeah, Caleb Swanigan, former Purdue standout and first-round NBA draft pick, first rounder in the NBA, dead at 25. X Factor star's bride dies on her wedding day. Two-time Olympic artistic swimmer, which I thought was the stupidest sport I've ever seen in my life, Anita Alvarez was in danger of drowning after fainting while performing at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary, which I think I covered that in another one. But yeah, we've got a lot of crazy stuff, with that. Let's see if they've got anything else, right? A 3-year-old girl dies of a heart attack one day after her coof thing that she took. I mean, come on, people. Oh, let's see if there's a happy story, right? Let's try to close out on a good note. What's something funny? You know, I had something funny usually. I usually try to keep something funny on hand. Let me take a look at my links here, man. I got some links. There's got to be something. Oh, wow. I got a bunch of things here. Oh, wow. Let's see here. Oh, there's that Gretard thing. Wait. I have some good one. Now I know what we're gonna do. I gotta see. I sent myself an email. That's how you gotta do it. Where is my thing here? What do we got? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't know if I'll cover that. Okay, here, this one's a funny one. Y'all remember Pindar, right? I think we got a cheetah right here. Okay, so this website's pretty hilarious and like pretty cringy, but who cares, right? That's the whole point here. In the Bayes Gossiper program, we're at adrenogate.net here. Pindar, pinnacle of the Draco, the lizard king of the Illuminati, right? Oh, we got the Cheetah Uri. Cheetah Uri confirmed. The leader of the Earth's Illuminati is called. So there's multiple, apparently, according to this guy. The Pindar is a member of one of the 13 ruling Illuminati families and is always male. The title Pindar is an abbreviated term for the pinnacle of Draco. Symbolically, this represents the top of power, control, creation, penetration, expansion, invasion, and fear. The holder of this rank reports to the purebred reptilian leader of the inner Earth. Recently, there are reports that the Marquis de Lebeau is the Pindar, but this is disinformation. The true current Pindar is the head of the Rothschild family, as has been several hundred years. So wait, who is this Marquis de Lebeau? Let's take a look at that, right? Let's just take a look at that. Marquis de la... Come on, how do you even spell that? These French names, really hard. Okay, it's like I'm in Louisiana. That's how we spell it. Libeaux, all right? The Cajun. What do we got here? Is this him? I don't know. I mean, this is Guy de Rothschild, but I don't know who the other one is. I mean, whatever. Okay, back to it. He is based in Germany near Frankfurt. In the late 1970s, he oversaw the sister project to Montauk called MALDA. Is an anagram for Montauk Alsace Lorraine Dimensional Activation. This project was located near the city of Strasbourg, France, historically once part of Germany. Oh, there you go. The rest of the above piece from the Medium is no longer available, but there's plenty of information, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we got the Lizard King here. Look at his, like, forked tongue here. Do you know the Lizard King? According to David Icke, the hierarchy goes like this. Okay, it's not David Icke. According to David Icke, the hierarchy goes like this. We've got the royalty, winged reptilians with the highest caste being the albino type, similar to Pindar. I sound more Australian than I do David Icke, but the only thing I can say is Cheetah Uri. The Cheetah Uri. It's got to be more British. It's more like the Cheetah Uri. If I got to work on that. I got to work on that one there. I'll get better. Reptoids, wingless reptilians. They are the ones described as having larger scales on their back and 3 fingers with an opposing thumb. Greys, which are, we know about the greys. And then it says humans, we're at the bottom. Why does that surprise me? Okay. The reptilians are described as being between 5 and 12 feet tall. Also, from Icke's research, Pindar attends the major satanic ceremonies in Europe and then flies to California for the rituals there. Later in the book, Biggest Secret, Icke says that Pindar, the Marquis de Lebeau, Oh, that's his title. The Marquis de Lebeau travels in a white limousine. A code white is a code understood by judges, police, and military, and it means look the other way or do not prosecute this person. On page 453, Ike states that the Queen makes cruel remarks about lesser initiates, but is afraid of the man code-named Pindar, who is higher than her satanic rank. Pindar apparently bears a resemblance to Prince Charles. Arizona Wilder says, oh, y'all remember Arizona Wilder? That was crazy. Says that Pindar is Charles' real father. I watched 2 really long interviews with David Icke many years ago. One was with Arizona Wilder, and the other one was that shaman, that African shaman down there, who was attacked by a reptilian and then became bisexual after that. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Ike summarizes, along with Arizona Wilder, the possibility that Princess Diana was pregnant at the time of her murder and that the child could have been Pindar's rather than that of Dodi Fade. And the child was sacrificed in a ritual ceremony. Diana was sacrificed because she would not cooperate with the organization. Ike insists that only one strain of the reptilian race is antagonistic towards us. Okay, only one strain of the reptilians are antagonistic. The rest of them are okay, right? To consider all reptilians evil is like considering all humans the same way. Patently false. Okay, see, this is where David Icke gets way off into freaking loony land. Like, I'm sorry, the demonic are demonic. All right, they a lot of times these spirits and stuff, they don't want to appear as evil, because if they appear as evil, you're gonna run towards God. If they appear as good, you're gonna think, oh well, I'm a psychic, I've got powers, I'm really cool, and then your soul is being attacked really bad. Going Dutch. The Dutch government resigned this week under pressure brought on by accusations that in 1995, over 7,000 Bosnian Muslims were executed by Serbs while under the protection of Dutch troops. This was the worst mass murder in Europe since World War II. Queen Beatrix, the Bilderberger leader, witnessed the mass sacrifice as part of a ritual ceremony. An interim government will run the small nation until May 15th, 2002. Okay. Let's see. And then they just got names. The original mother goddess after whom, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is a long article here. I'm not going to read all this, but yeah, I wanted to close with a little Pindar talk, man. I just thought about that yesterday, and I mean, I was pretty mind blown. I mean, this guy really did his research here, but yeah, what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about Pindar, you know? I think it's a little outrageous, but I do think that these people are demonically possessed, but I don't think that, you know, Lord Rothschild's like literally flying from, you know, the UK to Bohemian Grove and, you know, like he's freaking, you know, Superman or something. You know, but yeah, there you go. So I think we're going to wrap it up there. I think we did a pretty good stream. I think maybe we did an hour, maybe a little longer. But yeah, this one is mainly all about Nandi Bushell and freaking the Foo Fighters being total despicable shills. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick a song to close us out. I hope the music came through good there. I really hope everybody enjoyed that techno song. That's called Bay's Techno. That's my newest piece. I'm working on another one. The next one, I think I'm going to play all the individual parts on it. It's still going to be a really goofy track with the weird electronic drums. But, yeah, so let's see what we're going to close out with song-wise. Let's do... We'll just do the one that was meant to be a closer. And then we're going to share the sound. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Y'all have a good one. Be sure to like and subscribe. Smash that like button. But get over to Rumble because, you know, this channel is going to probably get taken down. I mean, I'm already getting videos taken down. My video about Texas, where I read about the new GOP document, which was probably, you know, the least absurd video I've made, got taken down. So... yeah, but make sure to share it to your friends. You know, we're trying to get this channel built up. I'm trying to be able to do this, you know, so All right. Hope everybody has a good day. And I will talk to you next time. And let's see here. All right. Perfect. All right.
Getting a rouse out of us. That's the whole point. Get a rouse out of the client so that they'll fight with the left. And the left will just triple down, quadruple down, take another jabba dabba do, and, and then double down after that. I mean, there's no, obviously they did it only for that purpose. The whole point of the movie is probably just to stoke tensions between the right and left, and also nobody wants to go to Disney World. I mean, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Robinette. What? I thought it was like Robert. There's no way that's actually Robinette. Can somebody please tell me if this is really his name? Born in Vancouver in 1916, Fred Coe becomes one of the pandemic's oldest victims. Such a tragedy. The deadliest week and yet. 104-year-old. It's just a horrible tragedy. You see how awful this thing is? 104-year-olds die. It's just unbelievable. We all must be muzzled forevermore. Yeah, there he is, Fred Coe. He's photographed by his... That's an interesting photograph, too. Look at that photograph. You ever seen a photograph like that?